My major fear is that we will be thrown off the world reserve currency. I don't know what that means for us.
Once it gets to 120, things start to crumble. 150 and it's thermonuclear, 200 and the global economy is a crash like you've never seen. The Saudis are now saying, no, we're gonna start doing deals with China, Turkey, maybe even Iran after the war, because it turns out America, it was a lie. Not America, it was a lie. Not America, it was a lie.
Trust you in Yahuwah forever. For in Yahuwah is everlasting strength.
And I heard a voice in the midst of the four living creatures saying, a quart of wheat for a denarius, and 3 quarts of barley for a denarius, and do not harm the oil and the wine.
We are specks of dust amongst Yahushai, and in the midst of our sins we tell ourselves lies.
I want to know what some of your biggest fears are with the fallout of this Iran war. I think that I'm worried about, other than our guys dying for another country, that is number one, but for the longevity of the country, I mean, I think the petrodollar is falling at a rapid pace. There's been, I mean, you know about BRICS. It's been around for a long time. They're trying to throw us off the world reserve currency. The petro yen is rising. I mean, now they're taking payments in yen. So what does that mean for us? I mean, we've essentially shut off oil to the Western world, Europe, or so. It's still going to China. They found a back door, and when they said that the blockade was just for the Western world at the beginning. It wasn't until we showed up that China and these, in mainly China, they didn't slow down.
Yeah.
So everybody's pissed at us because their energy is going to fall, which means their economy is going to fall. And we're in the way of that, and we aren't.
Yeah.
It's impossible to even negotiate because they kill all the people that we're negotiating with.
Yeah.
Israelis kill all the people we're negotiating with. And so my major fear is that we will be thrown off the world reserve currency. I don't know what that means for us, but I know it's not going to be good. That's the end of the road.
Yeah. So I agree with you. My number one problem is that I can't stand the loss of American sovereignty. I can't stand it, right? Like, the whole point of the country is freedom, and they're taking our freedom away, and it bothers me to no end. I will come back talk about that more later, because I'm so corny in how patriotic I am, and I love this country, and I hate that they're taking the core of it away. It bothers me more than you could imagine. But now let's talk about what you mentioned, the economic stuff. Okay, that is a second calamity, and it is going to be much larger than people realize. Trump is barely holding it together with duct tape, with lie after lie. Oh, well, peace around the corner. Oh, don't worry, oil's going to drop. And I don't know why the markets believe him. I mean, the guy lies about everything. I don't know why, but they believe him.
Here's another question. Is he holding it together? Is he really holding it together? And is that why he's saying all that? Or is he manipulating the market?
Oh, he's doing both. Yeah. So look, let's talk about the cascading disasters, then come back to Trump and why he has to do what he's doing. So number one, 20% of the oil comes through the Strait of Hormuz for the whole world, right? Oil is sold in a world market. So when people say, oh, we're energy independent, that doesn't mean anything. It's just a made up phrase, because it's not our oil that the ExxonMobil and Chevron takes out of our soil. The minute they have it, it's ExxonMobil's oil. And ExxonMobil doesn't have to sell it inside the country. They could sell it all across the world, and they do. So we're not energy independent at all. We're in the global oil markets. So when the price of oil goes up for China, it goes up for us, okay? And so, but it went up more for us because you're right, in the beginning, Iran's controlling it and China is their ally. So they're letting the Chinese oil go through. Now, why did we allow that for so long? We even allowed the Iranians to sell their oil, because if the oil prices explode, which they will, that hurts the entire market and the entire economy. The stock market crashes, rich people get uncomfortable, but then we have cascading consequences for the economy overall. So when oil hits over $100, panic begins to set. And a couple of times we went past $100 per barrel. And once it gets to 120, the things start to crumble. 150 and it's thermonuclear. 200 and the global economy is a crash like you've never seen. Okay, so that's why Trump has to hold it together. He has to make sure that the price of oil doesn't go up too much in the middle of the war. But Israel put us in a spot that is unwinnable and untenable. We can't get out. It's already too late. Because once Iran closed the strait, we've got to get them to open it back up. If we don't get them to open it back up, it's definitely going to 120, and it might go to 150. And some now on Wall Street, some of the smart guys are beginning to think, holy shit, it might go to 200. So so right now there's shortages in South Korea, there's shortages in India, shortages of energy all across the world. And we haven't hit what I think is the worst part of the war that's coming up. If we don't get the hell out of there, this is going to be an economic collapse like people have not seen. So why is Israel doing this? Number one, they want to take southern Lebanon, and this is all a giant distraction. Number two, they want the Iranians destroyed so they can't fund Hamas, Hezbollah, or et cetera. So it's all about their interest, not our interest. But the parts people don't talk about, they just open up the Leviathan gas field.
Leviathan gas field. Leviathan gas field.
For the first time, Israel now has a source of energy. And after the war starts, Netanyahu goes and brags on air, well, now that all those the strait is closed and the other things are foreclosed, you're going to have to rely on Leviathan and Israel.
Holy shit.
Okay. And when the world falls apart and we lose all of our allies, we lose NATO, we lose the Middle East, we lose everyone, Israel then says, we're your only ally. See, the rest of the world hates you. Well, why do they hate us? Because we did the shit you wanted us to do.
I think everybody sees what's happening. Everybody sees the negotiators being killed by Israel. And everybody sees it but us, but we see it. But our leadership, this administration, they don't acknowledge it. But I just want to read something to break down the petrodollar and why it's important. Since the early 1970s, a foundational deal between the U.S. and Saudi Arabia has underpinned the entire global financial system. Oil is priced and sold exclusively in U.S. dollars. That means every nation on earth, regardless of its relationship with the U.S., must hold U.S. dollars to buy energy. Those dollar surpluses are then recycled back into the U.S. Treasury bonds, keeping American borrowing cost artificially low and sustaining the dollar as the world's reserve currency. The system has funded decades of U.S. military and economic dominance. Lose it, and the United States loses its ability to borrow cheaply, sanction adversaries, and project global power. 21 million barrels a day come out of the Strait of Hormuz. It's 530 billion in oil per year, 25% of the world's oil.
So that's the next thing I was going to get to, brother. So if you think it's bad with what oil prices will do to the world economy, wait till you see what it does to us when they stop using the dollar to exchange oil. Why? So here's what people have to understand. It's just one more step, and it's actually an easy step that a lot of people will get. When they use the dollar as that reserve currency throughout the world, just like you read there, everybody has to stock up on the dollar. But if they don't have to do that anymore, it lowers the value of the dollar, which means that we could buy less with the dollar, which means prices are going to be even higher. And we don't become the standard bearer anymore. That means they could give us an interest rate that is higher to buy our treasury bonds because we're no longer the reserve currency. We're no longer guaranteed to be able to pay it back. So that means all of our debt gets multiplied because now we're all paying a higher interest. So all that money we borrowed from China and Japan to give to Israel, we'll have to pay a higher interest on it if we're not the reserve currency. So it has many other cascading consequences, but just on the interest rate alone and the fact that they don't have to buy the dollar anymore and the inflation that'll cause, two other giant calamities. It's going to make the economy here so much worse.
It's already bad.
Calamities. It's gonna make the economy here so much worse. It's already bad. Calamities. It's gonna make the economy here so much worse. It's already bad.
Trust you in Yahuwah forever. For in Yahuwah is everlasting strength.